Hey everyone, in my last video I said that we were off to the races. All the stuff was functioning with our systems, that's true, but I wound up picking up 500 domains, pre-existing domains, and I was going through the stack. It occurred to me that it was taking about 2 hours to do each domain properly. So that meant I could only do about 4 a day. So it would be 125 days to complete, which is like 25 weeks or half a year. And I thought, no. And so I turned around, I came back, and I condensed the steps and arranged the domain rating for the different industries and stuff. And I just said, what can we do to make this right? And as I dove in, we wound up creating more development to get there. But here's what we have now. I can literally handle like 150 websites a day. Probably more by now. But let me just give you an example of how that looks and how that feels. So there are a lot of steps, by the way. You know, if you take the domains, we have to ask, is it the old system or the new system? What server is it on? What industry is it for? Is it location-based or not? What's the domain rating? Are we supposed to have company name, address, and phone? Or is that not what we're using for this site? It's a general information site with banner ads. And then going through the steps, do we do a backup in the first place? Do we create the global variables? Do we create the pages in the sitemap? Have we got the images done on the pages, logos updated? And this is just a huge list, you know, going through and just making sure everything's done for these things, right? So second backup, create the front page contents, you know, on and on and on. It really goes on for a while to get all this stuff done the way we want. And that's all good, okay? So here's my point. We're to a point where we can really move now. And I did a count recently. Our remote control tool, 81 separate tools to totally control the websites. It is those 81 tools that make all these things possible. So it's absolutely fascinating how far we are now, because we can control all the backlinking, tiered backlinking, inserting of ads, what verbiage to use with the ads and everything else. Whether we're going to use a welcome pop-up or an exit pop-up or a call to action bar, all this stuff is done. And I think nobody in the nation has a system that allows so much remote control over so many websites that already have such strong scores, you know, like the page speed scores. It's all Ajax coding, HTML validated. Everything's amazing about these templates, right? That's the idea. So having said that, I want to just kind of like show you sort of what this looks like when the rubber meets the road. Let's just take one of those websites real quick. And it's got a sitemap, probably 100 pages in the sitemap now. And if I were to open a few, I just want to show you the idea. Info-based means that we're using a keyword that we already looked up. We looked up a ton of keywords. This is where the 100 pages are coming from. Keywords that are low-hanging fruit. They're high volume, low competition keywords. So the very act of creating a page for each of those keywords, like in this case, discover the top 10 best-selling facial products for glowing skin. The keyword was probably something like facial products for glowing skin, okay? That was probably the keyword upon which this whole page was created, right? And so if we go scrolling down, we see our table of content stuff. And if we go down, we see a number of things happening here, right? Lots of sections and stuff. And then I'm going to make another point. So this breaks it down. It's actually a really well-written page. It's got links to the page that came before it and after it, all that stuff. And we found that was important. You can't just have all the pages in your sitemap anymore with a sitemap link at the bottom of the page to connect them to the home page. Google literally doesn't count that anymore. So you have to get the links into the page. You know what else it does though? Because we didn't just say previous page and next page. No, we do have that. But what we did was make the link itself clickable with the verbiage that belongs to the page. What does that do? That gives us these very direct links, very clear, organized link connections from page to page to page for all the pages so that Google sees it. Now, I want to bring your attention to this. Okay, I can hide or open this, but here's the point. See this section here? Well, I did that very badly, didn't I? Let's try the other way. Okay. I've got some verbiage and image. It's a clickable image to a destination URL. It's a banner ad. And I can optionally, with my banner ad, put verbiage above it, verbiage below it. Okay. So there you go. There's some kind of a pitch, something to click on. And yes, this is not the final image. I was just using it for testing. And then we go ahead and close it out. The final ones, of course, are going to look more like clickable banner ad images. They're going to make some kind of a point or whatever it is. But they're meant to be banner ads, right? That entice people to click on them. Here's the point, though. We auto-inserted this whole thing. We auto-inserted the verbiage and the clickable image with where it points to from one of our remote control tools. We can say, here's a list of domains. Include the pages in the menu or don't. Maybe some of the ads should not really be in the top menu links, right? Like if this is an important site for you, you want the top pages there to be your explanation pages, you know, to get people to give you a call now, whatever. And you don't necessarily want your ads there because it's circular, right? Like your ads would be leading you to the most important pages, okay, from the other sites usually. But anyway, you have the right, we can put them in the menu or not. That is the menu links. If they're dropped down, that's included. Or just put them only into the rest of the pages, the sitemap based pages, which, yes, are connected to the home pages with those previous next links too. All of it's connected. Okay, what's my point about that? I upload a zip file with some images, put in however many URLs to work through for those images. It'll match. And then tell it whether to put the links in the menu too or not, or just the sitemaps for these domains. And we have real control over that. We can say ignore some pages, but anyway, we could say go. Because we have an exclusion list. We can ignore particular pages. And so then we run it out. And what happens? All the ads get added into all the pages right away. And guess what? They're added with a rel equal no follow. So that's not a problem for Google at all. Google expects that, and that's perfectly cool. So if this was on a website flipping club website, we could also add Google AdSense around it and everything, but it can be a page with the ad. Okay? Now, the point I want to make about the ad concept, first we can have one, we can have two. We could have one up here, we could have one at the bottom. That's a different ad for a different thing if we wanted. We can have an ad in the middle of the page, okay? So that stuff is really cool. What else do I want to say? It's nice how it appears on different pages of different sizes. Sometimes you see it already. It's like the first thing to catch your eye. You know, uncover your natural beauty, the best facial products for normal skin. Oh, interesting. You know, that's kind of a good way to go. And so let some of your pages be like that. Other ones have a lot of content. So whether somebody hides the table, oh, take a look at that. That's kind of cool. Or they just click on something, you know, they're going where they're going. But there you have it. I mean, the ads can be anywhere on these pages, wherever we want to put them. Okay? Take a look at this. The main page. I want to show you what's different about it is the ad isn't here at the top. It's about halfway down the page. The other thing we thought was cool, putting a light border around it to make it more obvious it's clickable, right? The border highlights or not, depending on whether you're in the area. So even though we're going to make the banner ad more obvious, we can also make it more obvious, you know, for clickability. And so there you go. Now what? We can also have pages with no ads, like I was saying before. So we have total control over this entire ad insertion concept. Okay. So I'm going to summarize at this point. I'll do more videos, but I'm going to summarize at this point. Here's what it is. We can build the contents onto the web pages, right? We can drive the domain rating up. We can backlink through these things. And we have so many pre-owned domains right now. The amount of link juice we have to share is insane. So it's a crazy backlinking network, as well as just allowing us to populate your ads, you know, into these pages that lead you from whatever websites. Okay, and so we can set that whole thing up in a very simple flow now, so to speak. I mean, it's a number of steps. Like I was saying before, there's actually a lot it takes to do, but it's not hard anymore. It's actually all organized, all laid out. It all makes sense, and we're able to move forward with it from there. Okay, I'm going to break off this recording and get on to the next one. Keep up with me. All right.